It was supposed to be a relaxing weekend getaway, a chance to escape the city's hustle and bustle and unwind in a quaint old hotel nestled in the heart of a secluded forest. The Brooks Hotel was renowned for its charm and history, and my friends and I were eager to explore the hidden treasures it had to offer. Little did I know that this would turn into the most horrifying experience of my life. We checked into the hotel on a Friday afternoon, laughing and teasing each other as we ascended the creaky wooden stairs to our rooms. I was assigned to room 413, which had an eerie reputation among the staff. The bellboy hesitated before handing me the key, his eyes filled with unease. "Good luck, sir," he muttered, offering forced smile. I chuckled, brushing off the superstitious warning, and entered the room with excitement. The place had a strange ambience. Dark oak furniture, faded wallpaper, and an old chandelier that swayed slightly with each passing breeze. The air felt thick, as if I had stepped back in time to an era filled with secrets. As the evening crept in, I joined my friends in the hotel's charming restaurant for dinner. The conversation flowed easily, but every now and then I noticed some guests and staff exchanging glances, their gazes drifting to room 413. I decided not to mention the rumors, not wanting to dampen the cheerful atmosphere. After a delightful meal, we returned to our rooms. Alone in room 413, I unpacked my bag and settled into bed, determined not to let the hotel's ghost stories get the best of me. But as the night deepened, strange sounds echoed through the room. The soft footsteps of someone pacing the floor and faint whispers in the distance. My heart pounded and a chilling sensation ran down my spine. "Hello?" I called out hesitantly, half expecting a friend to pull a prank on me. Silence followed my inquiry, and I convinced myself that it must have been my imagination. Yet an eerie feeling lingered. The room seemed to have a life of its own, as if it were hiding something dark and sinister. Sleep eluded me that night. I tossed and turned, my mind racing with unsettling thoughts. The clock struck midnight, and suddenly the room's temperature plummeted. I shivered under the covers, pulling them tight around me. That's when I saw it, a faint apparition hovering at the foot of the bed. I rubbed my eyes in disbelief, thinking it was a mere trick of the mind, but the figure remained, growing clearer with each passing second. It was a woman dressed in an old-fashioned gown, her face obscured by dark shadows. Frozen in fear, I couldn't move or speak. She glided closer, her ethereal form sending chills through my entire being. In a barely audible whisper, the apparition spoke, "Leave this place, before it's too late." Her words were haunting, but I was paralyzed by terror. She extended a pale, bony hand towards me, and before I could react, she vanished into thin air. My heart pounded like a relentless drum, and a cold sweat soaked my forehead. The following morning, I shared my harrowing encounter with my friends, but they laughed it off as a vivid dream brought on by the hotel's reputation. Despite their reassurances, I couldn't shake the feeling that something malevolent lingered within the walls of room 413. Determined to uncover the truth, I began researching the hotel's history. The Brooks Hotel had been built in the 19th century and had seen its fair share of tragedies, including a fire that claimed several lives. Room 413, it seemed, was the center of these misfortunes. Guests who had stayed there in the past reported strange occurrences, objects moving on their own, disembodied voices, and even sightings of a ghostly woman. My curiosity turned into obsession, and I sought out the hotel's oldest employees to gather more information. They recounted stories passed down through generations, each more chilling than the last. According to the legends, room 413 was cursed, and the ghost of a woman haunted it, seeking vengeance for a long-ago injustice. As days turned into weeks, my mental state deteriorated. Sleep became impossible, and every shadow seemed to conceal the malevolent spirit. My friends grew concerned for my well-being, urging me to leave the hotel and abandon my quest for answers. But I couldn't let go. I felt a strange connection with the tormented soul, as if she was trying to communicate with me to relay her tragic tale. Against my friend's advice, I decided to spend one more night in room 413 armed with a voice recorder and camera, hoping to capture evidence of the paranormal. That night, the air in the room grew heavy and oppressive, like an invisible force pressing down on me. I set up the recording devices and nervously waited for any sign of the ghostly presence. As the clock struck midnight, the room plunged into darkness, and a sense of dread washed over me. Then her voice echoed through the room, sorrowful and full of anger. She recounted a story of betrayal and heartbreak, revealing the true cause of her restless spirit. The tragedy had occurred decades ago when she had been a guest at the hotel, engaged to a man who had promised her eternal love. But on the night of their wedding, he had abandoned her, leaving her heartbroken and humiliated. Devastated, she had taken her own life in room 413, cursing the hotel and all who entered it. Her spirit had remained trapped, unable to find peace, and she blamed every guest for the pain she endured in life. The coldness in her voice sent shivers down my spine, and I realized that my presence had unleashed her fury. Tears welled up in my eyes as I listened to her tragic tale. The weight of her sorrow and anger was overwhelming, and I understood why she clung to her pain, seeking retribution from the living. In a moment of desperation, I spoke to her, expressing my deepest sympathies for her suffering. I pleaded with her to find forgiveness and let go of her anger. As I spoke, a strange sensation enveloped me. The room seemed to fill with an otherworldly presence. And then, as suddenly as it had started, it stopped. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the room felt tranquil once more. The apparition appeared before me, her face no longer obscured by shadows. In her eyes, I saw a glimmer of acceptance and peace. With one final whisper, she thanked me and vanished, leaving me alone in the quiet room. A profound sense of relief washed over me, knowing that I had helped a tormented soul find closure. The following day, I checked out of the Brooks Hotel, bidding farewell to room 413 for the last time. As I left the haunted place behind, I felt a mixture of sadness and gratitude. The experience had changed me, reminding me that there was more to the world than what meets the eye. To this day, the memory of room 413 lingers in my mind. I still wonder if the ghostly woman found the peace she sought or if she continues to haunt the hotel, eternally seeking justice for the heartbreak she endured. The Brooks Hotel remains a place of wonder and terror, where the veil between the living and the dead is thin, and the past refuses to be forgotten.